Hey guys, this video postcard comes from day 2 of our trip to Luxor, Aswan, and Abu Simbel. After finishing up at the Valley of the Kings, we made our way to the Funerary Temple of Hatshepsut. Alright, I'm at Hatshepsut's Funerary Temple, or Mortuary Temple. Hatshepsut was one of the rare female queens of Egypt and was controversial in her time because she was a female king, essentially. So after her reign, many other kings, or at least a few other kings, came and scratched her name out of the history books, or history walls, I should say, because she was a woman. Just crazy. And now we're here. Like I said, it was built by Hatshepsut, the most famous female king of ancient Egypt. It is architecturally astounding. Cut into the mountain, the sun's rays reflecting off of it are absolutely incredible. As a tourist, the site is strikingly beautiful. As a historian, the removal, vandalism, and reuse of the site is especially interesting. Not only were images of Hatshepsut partially removed, but her temple was actually partially built using stones stolen from the neighboring funerary complex of Mentuhotep II. As you weave between pillars decorated with the face of Hathor, you can see the crumbled remains of Mentuhotep's temple next to the gorgeous, surviving temple of Hatshepsut. The temple is an architectural reminder that history is never static. It is constantly being changed and revised for more reasons than can be reduced to a political or academic soundbite. After that, we went to the Colossi of Memnon. Hey guys, behind me are the Colossi of Memnon. These things are huge, maybe 60 feet tall. They are massive. They're of course super weathered, but they are ancient statues of the king Amenhotep. They were massive in their time, and of course they were not always this weathered. They've been repaired a couple of times, but there was a period that I find really interesting. After an earthquake, this northern colossus, if I can get my finger to point at it right, broke. It was shattered and damaged, and the wind would run through it at certain times, and it would sound as if it were whistling or singing. And this, of course, has inspired poems and stories. It was very famous for the Romans. They would come and kind of flock to see it. But I find it amazing. We won't have enough time to make it out to the Ramesseum, which is a temple complex from King Ramses. And so I won't be able to talk about the real inspiration behind Ozymandias, but these two statues remind me very much of it. Ozymandias is one of my favorite poems ever, and Bryan Cranston's reading of it is one of my favorite poetic performances of all time. And so hopefully I'll have somebody to read it for you while you get to look at these two amazing statues. I've asked my friend Beck, a fellow history major and Ozymandias lover, to read the poem for you guys. Although you haven't met Beck, he's one of the people I love to be around the most, and I look up to him more than I think he realizes.
I met a traveler from an antique land who said, "Two vast and trunkless legs of stone stand in the desert. Near them, on the sand, half sunk, a shattered visage lies, whose frown and wrinkled lip and sneer of cold command tell that its sculptor well those passions read which yet survive. Stamped on these lifeless things, the hand that mocked them and the heart that fed. And on the pedestal these words appear, my name is Ozymandias, King of Kings. Look on my works, ye mighty, and despair. Nothing beside remains. Round the decay of that colossal wreck, boundless and bare, the lone and level sand stretch far away."
From the Colossi, we went to an art cafe for lunch. Mason was in charge of food all week, and he picked absolutely amazing places to chow down. I had cauliflower curry tagine, a delicious dish that I already miss. I enjoyed seeing the art quite a bit as well. It was a nice break from ancient history and engaged a different side of our brains which we needed. It's also important to step out of the history of Egypt and to remember the contemporary issues and experiences of modern Egypt. I found myself missing Abby, my art buddy, but I'll be home soon. With our break complete, we took a trip to the Karnak Temple, which will be the subject of a separate video postcard, so you'll see that one later. After a couple of hours there, we headed to the Luxor Museum. We're nearing the end of day 2. We just got done at Karnak, and now we're heading to the Luxor Museum. This has been a full day. I'm a little tired, but there are so many things to see that we were trying to pack it all in, and the excitement has not gone away. We were tired, as you can tell, but we really enjoyed the museum. It has a smaller collection, but the curation was very good, and it was exciting to be in a museum that actually told stories through and provided information about its artifacts. The Egyptian Museum had soured us a little bit, so this was a nice refresher. We finished the evening with more tagine and got ready to head to Aswan the following day, but that's for 2 postcards from now, so until you see those, much love.